Okay, so today is the 11th of April 2025. It is a Friday. It is nearly 12 in the afternoon, 11:43 in this camera. It's a late start because I had a dream when I was sleeping. And actually, the whole morning I've been pondering over it and speaking aloud about that dream and trying to make sense of it. So, if I can tell you what the dream is, and almost immediately when I came out of my sleep, they insulted me taking the Khan name. Khan का नाम लिया. Whether it is SRK, whether it is SK, whether it is Amir Khan, or it is his brothers and sisters, I don't know who it is. Okay, but they did use the word Khan. खा नहीं बोला, खखा का नहीं बोला, कान बोला, खान. No था ही उसमें. Okay, now what was the dream that I had and what I have been pondering over all this time? I must tell you, so you can also make sense of it and help sort this shit out. So anyway, let me tell you what the dream was. I see in my sleep before getting up that I am having some alcohol in my sleep. And when I'm having alcohol in my sleep, it seems to be, yeah, okay, I'm having alcohol. I have no thought process. So I'm sipping on a cocktail. What I'm sipping on, fuck knows, but I'm having something to drink. Then I go out to another place, and what it is it's like, it's nicely done up place, but it's not opulent, but it's not crappy either. There's plenty of woodwork, and I've never been to this place ever before. It looks like a tea center, except that Bombay's tea center near Churchgate is more airy, it's more white, and more light. So this place is dark actually, and it's got yellow lighting. It's got a lot of woodwork, and it seems to be like a train, kind of. Not a train is wrong. Let's just say it's like a fast food joint. So have you been to a McDonald's where along the windows of McDonald's they have those benches, and then they have single stools you can sit on it, other than the tables? So you just consider not the tables, there are no tables over there for fine dining or any kind of dining in a group setting. What it has is, if you take that as the bench, you see this table, not where the fan is, behind it. You see this little table over here? So you just compare it with McDonald's benches against the wall, outward looking in Bombay city in most cases. And then those little bar stools where you can sit and eat. So what I see is, frankly, it's good I have this in my home. So you take this as a tall bench where you keep your food, and take that red color small thing that you see, this red color thing in the back over there with those little cushions. You take that as like a sofa, and you take that as in the room which is dark with little lighting. You take that as the entire hall is that way, like this, just straight, okay. And I see next to me, I've picked up a plate and I've come to sit over there to eat. Next to me is a lady sitting on that kind of that red thing that is there in my home. She's sitting over there next to me, but she's got a separate table, like a separate high stool on which her food is kept. And she's like eating, and I don't know, there's somewhere else where makeup is being done. I don't know. It seems like a grooming school. So this woman who's sitting next to me, she's eating, but whenever we have eaten in, if it is supposed to be fine dining or it's supposed to be a restaurant, either the table is round and so everybody is at the table and we're eating together, or it's a square table. Otherwise, why will you go? Very rarely we go and eat on our own. Here she is eating and she seems to be practicing eating. I don't know. And she tells me, and because I've got a drink in my hand, there's another lady who's watching me. She's walking over there, walking by. She says, you are now, this is being mature. This is what she talks about, me being mature because I'm drinking. She herself looks like she could be from the local Bombay train, but now she's been turned out well, and she's checking her co-passengers out, because they do it habitually over there because there's nothing else to do, right? So she looks like she's one of those on those trains who, if she had not kind of decked up, or she had not done her makeup, or she had not got a haircut, or she had not changed her clothes, she would be the Bombay local normal traveler. Her style with which she looks at me is the Bombay local traveler, but she's decked up to look like she's going to a page 3 party, something of that sort. So anyway, that's what she tells me, and I hear her out. Then for what, I'm happy in my dream. Then I go to the toilet area somewhere because I have to wash my hands, and I'm checking out their toilet or their bathroom or their vanity area. Okay, if you want to call that, or you want to call it their powder room, but it's actually a toilet, nothing but a bathroom. Okay, so I go over there, and I'm very fascinated with the wash basin. Well, I don't know, and then I'm looking at it and I say, oh, the water over here goes through a different kind of a hole. It doesn't go normally. It's different from the white bathrooms that we have, or the stand alone where we wash our hands in the basin, or even if it is in your home, unless you don't have a vanity, the water is different. So this girl is very enamored by the bathroom and how nice it is. In short, she's comparing it with something that she has seen in the past, which is not that great. She's very happy with the washing bowl or the basin and the way it is. So she's very, very excited that, oh, this looks lovely. Like, the luxury, I don't know, but just normal. She's very happy with that bowl. Okay. So anyway, I'm not saying, I don't know if I would really, I don't know. Anyway, just leave it. She's very happy, very excited about it. Now, this dream got over and I came out of my sleep in the morning. When I came out of the sleep, someone insulted me and used the Khan's name. Khan. But they didn't say Khan, they said Khan, something of that sort. Putting it down that I work for Khan. I don't work for Khan. I don't need to. It's not my background too. You superimpose forcefully somebody else's crap on me. I have to spend my entire fucking morning figuring out what exactly you did. Now let me tell you about your fuck-all dream that you have sent me, in all probability of the shapeshifters who were being groomed to shapeshift with the page 3, the way they pick up urchins from traffic signals at Bombay and then get them to walk the ramp. That is what Ankur Patodia told me in 96. For Madhuri Dixit, a very big Indian Bollywood actress in those days, but from a background that is a conservative middle class background, who will refuse to do the wrong thing, including sleeping with rich industrialists. She'll refuse it because she's earning much more just doing a decent job, but in an indecent industry with some indecent people around her. So what Ankur Patodia told me in those days, when somebody is acting very pricey, but the industrialists want anything at any cost, if there is a way for one face to make six duplicates and everyone's happy. Yes, but that was 95, 96. Logically, if I think about Mr. Sanjeev Rajan Lekhraj, who I was supposed to be married to in Cotton World, he's killed. He's no more. He's got a duplicate called SL, जो कीड़ा था. At some point in time, this rotation of yeast, who keeps changing their face into whatever, as long as you have the bloody fucking height closest to it. ये लोग पता नहीं, is like a timeshare. This is how cheap these people are. Mr. Sanjeev Rajan Lekhraj, the Sindhi Bhaiband boy, had his first girlfriend, second girlfriend, third girlfriend. Amongst them, one girlfriend, witness I myself am. Long-term girlfriend, Cookie, who everyone knew he's seeing her. I was still in school at that time, maybe, or I was still in school. This boy had gone to college. They've been together for 4-5 years. Then she's gone away to Australia. They've broken up and she's moved on. He's also moved on. A boy who has a girlfriend when he's very young. They are making out. Literally, she's sitting on his lap, all over him. He's making out in front of his father's shop, for heaven's sake. At Barton Center when it is first opened. Find out which year, because that is the year. My cousins want to show Bangalore's developments with developing. We're going to one of the nightclubs or what, I don't know. We're going to dinner. So they say, come, we'll show you this new thing. So we are walking through Barton Center or we're going to a restaurant there. I'm not sure what it is. But this boy is making out with his girlfriend. And I don't think much about it. It's okay. I've grown up on American movies. So I think, oh, okay, alright, this is his girlfriend. He gets up, he says hi and whatever, and then he goes back to his business. We also carry on. A boy like this who's exposed to that extent, I don't think he would have a mindset of what Kira showed, whatever it is that the SL later on showed. There is no connect. Neither would he go on a rampage of picking up people from traffic signals to change them. That his duplicate would do. Primarily because if his duplicate comes from a background that is not that great, energetically he is not comfortable with those who are from a different background, but born into that lifestyle originally. He needs to be comfortable and level others who are from a bad background the way he is, duplicating himself for other people. And so to feel comfortable and to have control over the others in so-called high society. Or your page 3 people. He knocks people off, replicates them with people he picks up from backgrounds that he can have a control over. So he keeps doing that. And from them, there is one of them who considers SRK the Ram. Her Ram. It was put on Katrina's ID. Point is, are both of them shapeshifters? Now, if you are an urchin at a traffic signal, aren't you a good pickpocketer also? Are you a good chain snatcher if you manage to buy a bike? Pickpocketing in preschool. Then when you go to the 2nd standard, 4th standard, now you became chain snatcher. अब उसको आगे लेके identity theft, उसको आगे लेके पता नहीं क्या क्या financial heist करे घर घर में घुस के और corporates पीछे से घुस के. All the way into research. A research monkey picks up, doesn't know how to deal with it. Monkey has a time bomb in his hand. Detrimental to everybody's welfare. एक button क्या press करे, everyone will be gone. But that's a monkey. Doesn't have the intellect. So anyway, my whole morning went just dissecting everyone's character to say what is possible and what is not possible. Of course, I went into my own history. My first sip of whiskey, not because my father gave it to me, because he was busy on a business call at the office room, which is in the middle of the house, about 40 feet away. Whereas I was in the living room. And my dad, it must have been a Sunday or something. It was the daytime, or it could have been a Saturday afternoon. I don't know. But he had come home and he was enjoying his afternoon. So he had taken out his drinks and whatever, and he got a phone call for a business something. So he has left his glass and he has gone over there. He's just poured himself a drink. He has gone to the office room to take his call. Now, when he has gone over there, he's, I'm a child. I'm still, I don't even know if I can walk. So almost immediately I've gone for his drink because I'm wondering what it is. And of course, I've had a swig of it, but I don't like the taste because it's bitter. It's a glass of beer or it's a glass of whiskey. I'm not sure. He comes back and catches me at it, and then of course, he's not those sorts who thrashes you and all. He just says it's not. He's kind of, let's just say, he's kind of hyper, neither angry nor happy. He's surprised and he's also like kind of hyper. He says, "You're not supposed to have this. This is not for you." At that time, we used to have our gramophone. So the gramophone record also is going on loud, loud, loud. Okay, he has started it again. These are the things that I remember out of my childhood. And the room that is the living room is exactly opposite Liberty Cinema, the theatre. Because at that time, the two rooms as they were when we sold it to Solanki were two rooms, but with a balcony. Or he had taken in the balcony, so I would have been a little older than that. So what I'm saying is I have grown up in a house with alcohol. My father itself at US Club, when we're with our uncles and our aunties and youngsters for fun, they'll say, okay, we'll have little shandy just to make the child happy. So okay, most of it will be an entire limca, and in that limca they'll give you a sip of beer and then you feel very happy. Okay, we are now like the adults, so they give you one small little, they say, oh, you'll also have, okay, so one small little, not even half a spoon, into your limca, and you feel very big and you feel very happy. Those things would have happened. I don't think in our adulthood, when we are 20, 22, 23, because we're having a cocktail or a mocktail, we would have had a pina colada when we were 11, 12 years old. And it is our choice whether we want to actually have an alcoholic drink or we want to have a mocktail. Most times I choose a mocktail. Not because I don't like feeling giddy, and drinks hit me pretty soon, I refuse to have it. I also like to be fully able, because we've been told that you have to be very careful. The boys in college, when they don't get a girl, they spike your drink. You have to be very, very, very careful. Even when you have a Coke or you have a Limca or you have a Gold Spot. In my days it was Gold Spot, Thumbs Up and Limca. What was it? Gold Spot, Thumbs Up and Limca in my days. It was also Duke's Lemonade. If you want a bigger 300 ml instead of 250. We're all in college, so we're thinking of as much as possible, right? We're all on pocket money. You understood? So for most part of it, even the drink that we get, we're told, ask it to be opened in front of you. Not only that, open your own can. If it is a can, which we never used to have it opened in front of you, wipe the cap, be very careful. Don't leave if you are going to the nightclubs and all of that, do not leave your drink unattended to, क्योंकि ये लोग ना बहुत ऊपर नीचे कर रहे हैं, and you have to be very careful. So on those grounds also, my choice of the cocktail is not an alcoholic cocktail, it's generally a non-alcoholic mocktail. So pina colada I used to have a lot, I used to love it a lot. So I'm not at 22, 23, 24, I'm not going to become mature when I have had an alcoholic drink. That's not going to happen with me. That's the height of stupidity. So that girl cannot be me, and I am nothing connected with that Khan. Khan does not need to give me my finishing school. My finishing school started from the day I was born. Naturally, any wedding, any sit-down dinner, anytime we have to go even to the club. The training is while we are growing up, even when we are learning to crawl and walk. then if we're going to be sitting with eminent personalities because our parents have been invited to a do, or we're going to a wedding at a 5-star hotel, which was very common while I was growing up, obviously we are going to be trained along the way how we need to behave, where we need to behave. Your dear darling Varsha, Shalina, 2006 or 2007, after she has told me about her daughter's talked about Masi cut nose, she's talking about flip-carting like that idiot who I was married to, who's not the real SRL. Wants to cross-pollinate. Pick up from the street urchins. पॉकेट मार तो है, मॉडल्स बना के वहाँ पे स्टीलिंग करे यूरोप के अंदर. Why a decent household girl will ever do it? We are not provided for as children. But street urchins from the child time they are babies, and they taught how to steal from pockets and wallets, how to quickly steal in Bombay at the traffic signal or in the train. Aren't they taught that? So your dear Varsha, who you have brought her to my home, who's a replica of my own sister, my sister wouldn't need to steal. My DNA doesn't need to steal. What has she told me? Now I am in my own home. 2007, I'm sitting at the dining table. I've got curry, I've got rice, I've got some fritters, I've got like salad, I've got some sabzi, which means vegetables, a couple of vegetables and some dal. All of that is put out on the table by the maid who's working at my home. Now Khan hasn't provided for my home. Don't keep bringing him in. Ankur Patodia was shape-shifting for one of the Khans, so he knows, no, 95. For one face, how you can make 666 of them. And how you pick up street urchins from the traffic signals and make them models. The same thing SL also knew. I don't want to give Rajan Lekhraj's son this kind of a name. No Bhaiban would actually do this. जो खुद slum से उठाया गया माल है, that who himself is from the slums, whose face has been cloned, he would support all his baradari from the slums and street urchins who are good at snatching things. Groom them, no? The My Fair Lady way, except she was a flower seller. And she's injected into high society. There she wasn't stealing. But you took it to another level altogether, right? So what does that version of Shalina, who's my younger sister, we have both been brought up together, we've grown up in the same home. You tell me one thing, suddenly in 2006 or 7, she tells me, see how you are eating. See how you are eating. Now the point is, that girl is pointing to me and saying, I'm sitting at the dining table with my dad and I'm eating. I must be eating with my fingers. I'm sitting at home. I'm not at a sit-down dinner. I'm, eating Indian food. I'll eat it whichever way Indian food should be eaten to enjoy it, because I'm comfortable in my skin. So I'm eating it my way. But that almost triggers her off and she says, see how you are eating. Now she has already gone into this mode of every item that she buys has to be a designer thing. Week on week, she's buying only designer clothes. But then my Varsha has grown up at Fort Jaswell with me and she's never needed to do that. That's because she has been groomed from childhood with me. When we go for fine dining, we're able to fine dine. When we're going to the clubs, we're able to behave appropriately. When we're at home, we play throw ball in our big living room. We're just normal kids who grow up normally. We go to good schools, go to good colleges, but there is really no pretense. This girl who had Varsha Shalina's face post 2006 end, after I have worked at IOL, out of which 4 people have been called out to have terrorist links. and be connected with nefarious activity working at IOL. They and people who have financial dearth would put their fingers into doing the wrong activity. Normal people in my Advani family, I don't think would ever do that kind of thing. And that is what I spent the whole the whole morning just taking out different instances and incidences which tell me Nikhil Advani and his counterpart, who are comparing their noses after I've come back from QUT, both of them have the same fucking little knob. There's a small little fucking knob on the tip of their bloody fucking nose. So let's assume this is the nose. So on this bloody fucking nose is one little knob. She has it, he has it. But guess what? Ankur Patodia also has it. And he's not an Advani. But he's the one who has all the fucking knowledge about how urchins are picked up from street signals and then converted, and they are better than the original socialites. Picking up these guys from street signals was some version of SRL also. But he cannot be the Bhaiband boy. The Bhaiband boy who has many girlfriends when he's growing up and his parents are okay with his girlfriends doesn't need to come down to the level of having to grab money and assets of other people. He himself comes from a well-settled background. He is comfortable with people of a different energy. He's not going to be comfortable with maids, urchins picked up from signals. He's not going to be comfortable with that crowd. But SL needed to sleep with the maids. His friends, he had to supply them so they can sleep with them. That was not the real SRL. I want that you need to sort this out. And I don't come from the background of earning my salary as a maid or a housekeeper. My background is business. If you people didn't understand fucking cloning and you have been sitting, first my family has been wronged. Our society has been wronged. We are the ones who earned the money. You fucks didn't find out. And you supported all the shits of the sewers while they were stealing. You need to set it straight. I insist you set it straight. Because many of our homes have been ruined on the back of it. And it is not okay. Okay? And don't blame innocent people. Don't call innocent people of good backgrounds all the shitty bloody caps you have put on us. Because you supported crap of the streets. तुम लोगों को नहीं छोड़ेंगे. नसीब तुमको ठोकरे खिलवाएगा ही खिलवाएगा दर दर पे. तो भीख मांगोगे एक शरीर के लिए नरक पाताल से. Don't ever forget it. You have the curse of everybody who matters from the higher realms wherever you fucked around at. Go to hell. And tell that Khan. There was a boy called Salman in 1984 who came to take in the balcony. Like, this is a balcony. ये balcony है. इस चीज़ को हटाने के लिए और वहाँ पे sliding windows बाहर पे लगाने के लिए, ताकि हमारा जो this living room of mine should become as big as up to the end of that balcony. All this becomes a living room that is taking in all the balconies and making all our rooms bigger. For that work, there was a boy called Salman who was one of the two tall boys. Then there was a short little shit who entered our home because one of those two boys were having an affair with our home ka maid called Saroj. He ran off with her. She didn't even give little notice. Just disappeared. And then turns up 4 months afterwards wanting a fucking job back. Crying that she got pregnant. And he kept her in some of those Crawford Market rooms. One room, tenement. Got her pregnant, promised her marriage, left her high and dry. So, frankly telling you, on the back of that, all the shit started. Weirdo entry of fucking around with the Advani family. My question to the Khan is, Pre-partition, to my great-grandfather and grandfather and great-great-great-grandfather had acres and acres and acres of land on that side of the what is today's border. When I use the word Hyderabad Sindh, because that's what it's called, Hyderabad Sindh in Pakistan today, you are bringing it to Andhra Pradesh. Your level of education is that much, is it? But you're going to decide for the economy of India. You don't even know about Hyderabad Sindh. तो जो पॉकेट मार होता है उसको ग्रैबिंग तो आता है एट वेरियस लेवल्स. अब तो बड़ा हाथ मारा है, लेकिन तुमको बेसिक कॉमन सेंस नहीं है ज्योग्राफी का कि एक हैदराबाद सिंध सच में पाकिस्तान में है. तो इफ योर ज्योग्राफी इज सो ग्रेट, इकोनॉमी एंड इकोनॉमिक्स तो कैसे हैंडल करेगा? कम्युनिज्म इज अ फेल्ड इकोनॉमी time and time again from the early 1900s, if you haven't understood it. लेकिन हाथ चोरी करना तुमको आता है, चेन चोरी करना उससे भी ज़्यादा you know how to steal, but you don't know how to grow money with good karma, and you definitely don't know how to run the economies. You're bloody fools. Red shit. An absolute useless form of governance. Then what you are bringing on to people is dread globally. You're only good at stealing, you're only good at lying, you work with taking the hard work of other scientists and putting it to use in that 420 business way, where an illiterate like you doesn't know actually how to do proper governance. An illiterate like you does not know that economies require free trade. Now when Trump has gone, he's gone and put how much tariff on people? What you want? You want everybody's business to stop? Today in Bombay, you from the years that you were born, you are able to keep your bloody fucking stomach. Filled with a vada pav and a bhajia pav on the streets. Why? Because cheap food was available, no? What your entire 5 years of salary won't be, the rich man would spend in one night sitting in a 5-star hotel, in a good restaurant. But you were still able to feed your stomach with your vada pav and with that bhajia, fritters of the streets. So why are you doing all these incompetent things where everyone will fall into poverty? People who cannot afford it while living in America but have clothes to cover them, have food to eat, have cheaper goods coming in imported from other places, so at least they are living decently within their budget. You're going to stop exports out of China and all these other countries? What common sense is it? You want everybody to come down to levels of poverty, then you will give everybody handouts. But knowing shit like you will not even do that. You are thieves. Petty, cheap thieves, highly incompetent and highly illiterate. You don't have the capability of giving back to society with even gratitude for what they have done with their taxes to just keep things in balance. So what you will give handouts once you have stolen goods which you have never earned? Whenever you have taken anything, it is just plain grabbing on the back of fooling people, on the back of heist, on the back of stealing, on the back of murder and face change. You are highly uneducated. And the worstest of the worstest, that Kira is worstest of the worstest. Useless. Absolutely useless. Europe is gone into the hands of terrorism. That Brexit broke it up. They are trying it in India. Indians, for most part of it, if you are genuine Indians, you are an intellectual lot. You also have a lot of spiritual backing. Naturally, according to the place where you were born at and brought up at. So I would just tell the Kannadikas, do not insist on language. You need to do business. You don't like somebody talking another language, screw it. Plug your ears with Kannada music, Kannada, let's just say, comedy show. You're driving the car, you're driving the auto. That passenger is with you for how long? He's picking up a fight with you? No, he will give you money, you will earn money. take the passenger, don't get into this. Divide and rule is what these guys wanted to do. It is the underworld. It is not the government. First you recognize कि underworld terrorism बहुत spread हो चुका है. इनका तरीका, their way of stealing is to create dissent. Don't fall for it. You have to be a thriving, every month you have to have a thriving income coming into your home. You don't like the Hindi guy, fair enough. Okay. You don't like the English speaking girl, fair enough. That boy and girl is not talking Kannada, fair enough. It doesn't matter. They're giving you some passage, they're giving you some business. You don't need to entertain them. You're riding the auto, ride it. Listen to something, don't disturb them also. You plug your ears with some MP3 player, iPod, whatever you want. You listen to your own program in your own language. Drop them, do the business. Don't ever stamp down on your own stomach. That goes for the hawker, that goes for the gaadi wala, that goes for the guy at a retail shop, that goes for that working in the retail shop, owning the retail shop, parking guy, the Ola cab driver, the delivery guy. Do not get embroiled in these useless activities. The underworld and the terrorists are just waiting for you to be put to use to create dissent. They will create mayhem. They're just waiting. वो जो आग और अग्नि, which means fire, they're just waiting. And same thing goes for the Marathis. Your Bombay has grown. If you count, how did Bombay grow? If you very honestly, without getting emotional, just look at it for bare facts. How did it grow? On the back of what? You have to be very objective. Emotions need to be kept aside. They will trigger irrational emotions in you. If they have jabbed everybody or most people in tin, they have jabbed you because they want to use you for destroying your own nation. If the nation gets destroyed, your house will be one of them to go. Then they want to make everything very expensive. But ability to earn hai hi nahi. The money is not in the system. You are waiting for a handout from the terrorists to give it to you, or from the crime cartels to give it to you. It is not going to come the way you think. They are calling it and packaging it as communism. They are packaging it as a universal income for everybody. They don't have the Atma to do it. Their Atmic training does not give them the ability to actually give you the handouts. The loka they come from does not warrant it. It is a loka of greed. When you can't express gratitude for honest earning, the first chance where they are able to trigger off ingratitude towards those who have done, provided you opportunities where karma does not get spoiled. You are free to choose the opportunity in white collar, blue collar, or then freelancing or whatever it is. Primarily, the economy is churning. When they have triggered off some emotions in you, but those emotions, if you understand it, they are emotions connected with the lower realms. It is like, how Adam and Eve, and then wo jo snake bechta hai. Adam and Eve are very happy in their garden. The snake has to entice them. The snake is evil. And then Adam Eve ka jo heaven hai, Eden hai, that gets spoiled. So you must understand the quality before you just take anything anywhere. Okay? And when it comes to the Advanis don't need handouts from the Khans. If Khans can just rejuggle, the original Khans should still be around. Go back to 83, 84. Go back to 73. What you were doing? Then there is the question of Vatsala being recruited, Gangaram being recruited. They all worked in our home. Then them going back into the history and hiring all the others who have worked in our home and the office. So that is bottom of the pyramid network that they have. But that is all stolen money. Don't you understand? That's bad blood money. It cannot give you a good return. But for that, you should be educated enough to understand dates. And you cannot tell me that this didn't happen, because if you think about gap and you think about esprit and all, what are they all about? Equal opportunity. What you have grown so much on? Social justice. Don't blame people who come from a decent background. We ourselves have been wronged. We don't need corporates like you pretending to be good, bringing in the bad, doing the hiss, and then chasing tail of good people and putting false allegations against them. Don't do that. Better you eat a little less. Eat non-vegetarian. Even that is not so much of a crime in the spirit world as doing what you people have done. Are you aware of it? Half a lie is worse than eating non-veg. Are you aware of it? वेजिटेरियनिज्म करना है, लेकिन झूठ 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 बोलो ओ चले. हर घटिया कर्म को पैकेज करो एज समथिंग गुड, बट यू डोंट फूल द स्पिरिट realm, and your akashic records are recording you for what it is actually meant to be recorded for, not your own created understanding of how the spirit world understands you. You understood? Everything ends over here only. After that, it is how it is supposed to be, doctrines way before. That's going to be the judge. Are you with me? Did I have a dream today in the morning? What I said about the dream, was it true? Are you finding it difficult with my fans? There are two fans actually going on. Are you finding it difficult to move the pendulum? You want me to shut a fan off? Okay, wait. I'll shut the fan off. Wait. Okay, I've shut one fan off. बर्तीला का फेस चेंज करके तुमने किसका आइडेंटिटी दिया है? All the time you're fucking taking Bartila's name. Bartila was working in my home as a maid. You changed her face and sent her abroad. With whose identity? Why did you need to take one of Jaya.ADVANI's daughter's identities and put it on a maid at our home? Why did you need to do that? Why the original God-given births were not available as actually those who were born into a good life? Or that's your cheap way of insulting good bloodlines and good people's birth. Bartila is nobody of mine, because if Bartila was picked up to lie, then Bartila, even if she is a very nice girl, but if she took something that was not hers after she has changed her identity, Then she joins the street urchins and the chain snatchers and the thieves and the morons who think that they will get away with bad karma. So that's not my background. I'll eat less, live a simple life, but I will not do the wrong karma. Simply because ultimately it has to catch up with me, and frankly, our wealth is when we get good things from God's home by birth. We don't want to trade that. No decent family will ever do it. And we luckily weren't born on the streets as urchins. Khan better remember that always. Khan in all the, whenever you are you're calling Khan's name, whenever he's screwing around the way he's screwing around, he better remember it is SRK and SRK's EAs and SK's EAs who've been called out that they are going to Patal and Nark. And it is, their debts are so heavy that even getting a human form is going to be near impossible in the future. And whenever they are born in the future, it is after a very long time and it is not a good birth. तो हमेशा याद करे, सिर्फ एक बेवकूफ़ जो है, घटिया कर्म जिसने किया है, मर के आत्मिक रूप से आत्मा तक लेके वो बर्डन आत्मा पे लेके मरे. Anybody who's even half wise will let the world know what you have done. Only a bloody fool will not correct all the wrong that they have done the way they have done it. Only a bloody, incompetent, illiterate fool will do that. That's all I want to say. Okay? You're free to do what you want. Okay, now does this make it easier to move the pendulum? Okay, so if I have to establish it yet once again, the dream that I had today, my understanding of it, was there any truth in it? The girl who told me, see how you are eating, with Shalina's face, she had already started buying all designer wear, her cleavage showing all the time, wearing wedges and high heels, and wanting designer handbags, which Varsha and I actually up to 2007 never needed to do. We were happy wearing even Kulaba Causeway clothes and looking good and going wherever we have to. Obviously not for fine dining and all, but you know, it's not a big deal. Was that my DNA related sister Varsha.ADVANI, who I have grown up with, who was checking out the style with which I was eating? I was eating with my fingers at my dining table. Was that my DNA related sister? Was that a clone of Varsha's? Someone pretending to be Shalina? The girl who has grown up with me at number 4 Jaswell from childhood, was that her clone? My younger sister's clone? Now, is that girl still in her body? Is that girl still messing around? She grabs assets and steals? Is she going to get caught soon? Her real background is what? Is she a street urchin who was picked up and groomed? Okay, was she Bardila at some point in time? Did she ever interfere with Bartila's work and try to get Bartila to do wrong activity? Is she the one who scared Bartila, or due to whom Bartila seemed to be cowering in our kitchen and eating only rice, which was very surprising to me? Only one instance. So this girl is, do you call her a good Atma? Is she a good Atma? Is she Marathi? Is she a Marathi girl? Is she from, okay, I'll go one step at a time. Is she from Kerala? Is this girl a Keralite? Is she Kira's relative? So perhaps people in her ancestry either went to the Middle East in the labor class or then worked at people's homes either as maids or then as drivers. Is that the background? Is that her ancestral background for this life where she was born? Did any of her relatives work as nurses in any hospitals? Or any of her family friends, were they ever working in security or then in hospitals as nurses or ward boys? So did she actually then, at the bottom of the pyramid, did she actually then have a network, grow a network for any kind of nefarious activity that did happen? So in short, she's the AO that you are talking about. She and Kira are the AO, they are Keralites. Are they to be trusted? Tell me one thing. Mena auntie, you know Mena auntie? Mena, Maya, Vidya. Were they Anu's cousins? Anu, Binu, Nina's cousins? Okay, Mena auntie was married to Ramni. Ramni used to drink a lot and lock himself in the bedroom. Mena auntie finally split from him. He passed away later. Mena auntie had a boy and a girl. Are they the two Keralites you are talking about? You know, we don't want to insult anybody, but we have to check every corner. I don't know them at all. Then what about Bar? Okay, so are her kids okay? Are they legal and fine? Are they good souls? Okay, so the Mena auntie and her two kids have a clear chit. Okay, what about Ritika Balam? Are they okay? Are they clean? As in clean characters? Are they involved in that heist in any way? What about Taruna and Keshav? Keshav has shapeshifted ever? Okay, so Taruna and Keshav are also clean, clear chit. What about Keshav's son? He had some issues, right? He's a youngster. Now, what I remember is in 2005 or 2004 when we've gone to Vaishno Devi, where what Taruna has given me as Tarani Mata, she has given me something which got stolen on the way down, who was being Shalina at that time. When we had gone to Vaishno Devi, Taruna had given me some prasad. When I came down to Katra, was it stolen? In and around that, my gold bangles also had got stolen. My chain, I don't know, one of them also, I don't remember, some gold of mine had gotten stolen. I think my hand rings also got stolen on different occasions. But 2-3 times the prasad also got stolen. The biggest shock that I got was what was given to me at Vaishno Devi got stolen when I came down to Katra and opened my bag. And the whole thing with the chunni unni, everything was gone. right? Now that particular version of Shalina who was with me was making eyes at Keshav's son. But ideally Varsha and me are Keshav's aunts. Not Keshav's son's aunts. So there's no question of making eyes. The girl who came with us to Vaishno Devi, was she the original Varsha.ADVANI? The one who grew up at number 4 Jaswal, was she that version of Varsha.ADVANI who has grown up at number 4 Jaswal? We're talking 2004. So was she a clone for the real Varsha.ADVANI, shape-shifting? Is her background actually one which is, what is her background? She flicks a lot, very fast, very quick at flicking things and taking things that are not hers. So she comes from a poverty-ridden background, yet she had shape-shifted as Varsha at that time, or Shalina at that time. Now, is she the South? Is she the one from Kerala? Is she the Keralite girl? So you are saying Ankur Patodia, whose father GTN Textiles, he says, from Kerala. They have a huge bungalow at Marine Drive, is what he says, in Kerala, Cochin. Yet he says his background is from Palakkad and Palghar. Are you telling me that there is a brother and a sister team who Ankur knew were from Kerala? They were cloned, or they were their face over was done. One for Shalina Hundalani, or for Varsha.ADVANI, or for Indu.ADVANI, the boy for Nikhil.ADVANI. Did this happen? Did this Kerala, two people, boy and girl, with a knob on the tip of their nose, just the way Marwadi Ankur Patodia also has that knob on his nose? Are these the Heasters? And added to it is SL. I will not give him the Sindhi Bhaiband boy, SRL's, I will not give him his place. Because if SRL is alive, I've been told he's no more in the human body. SRL, if he was alive, has to say whether he used to pick up street urchins from Bombay traffic signals and give them rides in his car, and then probably make them offers also. SL probably was hiring these guys and sending them for the same face over, makeover, whatever, and then injecting them into high society to continue with the heist, is today what my guess is. So are you saying that there was a clone for Varsha.ADVANI and there was a clone for Nikhil.ADVANI, and both were from Kerala, brother sister team, and they contributed to some heist? Did they do the heist in Europe? Is he the boy who learned to eat a dosa, which even I have seen the real Nikhil.ADVANI, if he's eating chapati, eats with his fingers. He's very good with, let's just say, table manners, like the rest of us when we are growing up. But when it comes to eating a roti with, whatever it is, he'll eat with his fingers. When it comes to eating a dosa, which rarely we used to eat while we were growing up, at least when we were all our cousins together from the Advani side of the family, he'll eat it with his fingers. The giveaway is Kani.ADVANI, or whoever was Kanaya Lal, in 2000, in and around Nikhil's marriage, 2005. He's laughing and talking about how Nikhil eats his dosa with a fork and a knife. And I found that mighty strange. So, in short, the guy was being trained how to use fork, knife, table manners, in short, grooming at an elderly age to fit into high society to steal. The rest of us learnt it from infancy as we grew, depending on the situation and whose home we are going to eat, where we are going to eat, where the party is at, or who's coming to our home to party. All of us were taught all of this before we became teenagers. These guys were groomed when they were older. This brother sister team was groomed in their older days. Like that, it is a full syndicate who has done this work. Ankur Patodia is involved in this syndicate. Is it Ankur Patodia with his physical body like being born in a Marwari family, or is it a clone of Ankur Patodia? Is it the real Ankur Patodia? Who was going out with that Rajat Kapoor's sister or cousin sister? Is it the real Ankur Patodia? Who went to cathedral school in the earlier years? So you are saying that boy was suffering, he was in a very tumultuous relationship with Priya Kapoor. And he had suffered from some nervous breakdown in the earlier years when we were still in our 20s, early 20s. Was he found in a vulnerable moment and replicated by the underworld or whoever it was who had started this business? Did Ankur Patodia tell me that when his sister-in-law, Umang's wife, was producing a baby girl in the hospital, Umang was at one of the dance bars throwing money at one of those girls who dance and getting a slap on his face and poking money in their ghagra sides and in their cleavage? Is it because this was where these guys actually had been exposed for and to during their childhood? These kind of people were being picked up with face changes being done, sent into high society to steal and to help in the murders or in the replication. All this is past 1997 sometime. Now you understand it? Now you understand it? So your genetic engineering and all, which legally today they have put out it as a company, and Blacklist has established all the crimes that have already happened in the past. It's history. We are on the verge of I don't know what. Either the good guys, like every second is Dasera, do things where they get rid of evil, or then evil overtakes, and if evil overtakes, I think humanity is done for. So my real hope is that every second is like Dasera and good wins over evil at every step. That's all I can say. What more can I say? The damage has already been done. 1997, I was 23 years old or 22 years old. I'm now 51 years old. In 2 months' time, I'm going to turn 52. My time is already over. Now you think about the next generation who have been brought up by what kind of people. Then now you understand how Nepensi Road bad PFI. But in that Nepensi Road, just above it is Valkeshwar. Over there is Varsha. Varsha is the government of Maharashtra's residence. Anybody who comes into governance, almost immediately their right and entitlement for being the CM of Maharashtra becomes Varsha. Just next to it is the governor's home where SM Krishna was brought. Why was SM Krishna brought there, you know? After being 2 terms a good CM, Chief Minister of Karnataka. Why he was brought over there? Because the Sanki who is so screwed in his head. He doesn't understand it is not his place to be in somebody else's marriage shape-shifting. He was insulted because I dared to leave a 5-month marriage where he's not used to it according to his upbringing. The fact that he is wrong, shape-shifting in somebody else's marriage, that thought though is not even supposed to enter his head. He is connected with the underworld activity, connected with terrorism, high levels of criminality. So to teach, then he has done his own thinking for that 1.5 years. He's come to a conclusion because I've got this relative, that relative, that relative in this company, that company, that company, this founder, that founder. Then in that relatives there's somebody connected with also, let's say, government in some way. To destroy everything. One by one, he has targeted everything, step after step after step. This is why S.M. Krishna was brought to Bombay to be the governor. Now the point is, these guys have not left anybody, whether it is the Mahajans, whether it is the Thakres. Wherever you have seen a fallout, it is the work of evil. Then they have injected their own people everywhere. That is the reason why I am telling most of the normal crowd, educated, uneducated, no matter which job, no matter what you are doing for a living, do not fall ploy to these guys. They are just waiting. Always remember, you yourself know about the divide and rule policy. These guys will trigger you at the smallest thing. They are not to be trusted. Who is original, who is duplicate? Today you are your own savior. Frankly telling you, you are your own savior. So just, you have to keep calm. You have to rationalize everything. 1, food, clothing, shelter. Well-being of the next generation is priority. Language, religion doesn't matter. All religions teach you to be straightforward, actually telling you. So keep that in mind. Don't allow these guys to win, because if every second has to be Dasera, then you have to be good to get rid of evil. To be good, you have to be good. To be good, you have to be good. No matter what is around you. Even in the Ramayana, it is very clearly stated, doing evil doing evil to evil is not the appropriate measure. You cannot settle scores with evil by being evil. You can't do that. That will bring problems to yourself. You don't want that. So you have to be the firefighter in your own individual home, staying calm, rationalizing, and luckily most Indians are intellectual. They have the basic intellect. What you also have is default, being born over here, some amount of good atmic karma earned by the predecessors for a lot of investment done in this field much earlier. So there also there is a backing, so don't give it away so easily. Know that it is most important to have the food on the table. Do not turn anything away. Do not get slighted with anything. If someone slights you also, just turn your face the other way. Plug your ears with some music. Hear your own language. Be happy. Do not get triggered. They are waiting for it. They are the underground criminal activity, the murky stuff, which you don't want to put your fingers into. They are counting on you reacting. They work on a blueprint where they expect some expected reaction. Don't give it to them. What they are not prepared for is something that they haven't got in their blueprint. So do not give them what they want. Do not give them what they want. If it has to be the Dasera every second where good wins over evil, then you have to keep your cool. If you keep your cool, it may take a little extra time, but the point is you'll be able to get to the criminal and the criminal syndicate, and then when you do get over there, they will be able to be caught. But if everyone goes, it is like, let's say if there is a fire in a theatre, If everyone jumps over each other, they themselves without the fire will massacre each other. But if everybody is guided to exit from the exit neatly, nicely, then most people will get saved. And the fire will get rid of that needs to be gotten rid of. Or if it is nicely managed, then the fire also can be put off before more damage is done. For that, everyone has to be organized. If everyone becomes chaotic, then you will be giving the criminal syndicates a chance to win, but they have done everything with the viewpoint of studying everything. Also, these guys have gone rear door entry into key positions. तो जो दिखता है वो है नहीं. आज के दिन के अंदर, in today's day and age, actually you are your own firefighter. You as a family unit have to divide yourselves. Each person is the firefighter. Logically, analytically, you have to save your own situation individually. Since you have understood where the problem is. Also, you know that it is a question of bio war, biotech war, cloning, shape-shifting, doubles, proxies, वो इलेक्ट्रिक ईल भी है. आइडली जो इंडिविजुअली जो कोई भी कम्युनिटी, जो कोई भी इंडस्ट्री, whoever is in whatever industry and whichever community, those who are proper, who will be at the receiving end of criminal activity, because the criminals have gone and divided themselves everywhere. But those who are proper, no matter what the language, no matter what the religion, no matter what the industry, no matter which level of work, those who know you are not clones, you know you have kept it straight. Ideally, you should group together in some way or the other, or individually do the work, because you have to be able to firefight so you can catch the criminals and trick them in their own game. Tricking them in their own game is what? Doing something that is different from what their blueprint is. Now, जो chain snatcher होता है, that who knows how to snatch the chain, before that he used to be a pickpocket, then he went for the really big things. So much so even in Trump's camp, that big, that sure about his abilities. To trip that, and that you will have to actually trip. Otherwise we'll all be dead. Then evil will win over good, which you cannot allow. So ideally you must think of ways that if it is the electric eel, if it is the question of fire, if it is the bio war, if it is the biotech war, if it is a question of clones, it's a question of proxies, you have to think of a way before they get to you how you shut it off. It's called stop loss, no? Or cutting losses. You have to think of that only. Okay, you have to do that. Make sense or doesn't make sense? I'm not going to do a throw today. I had to discuss the dream. The pendulum is the only thing that answered for it. I don't think I will do a throw today. I will do a throw maybe tomorrow. I'm not getting what I should do the throw on. Since real time I got this and the pendulum answered it. The ones who are still okay, I think you need to put your thinking cap on. How you can catch the miscreants, which you will have to do. Okay, I'm going to close this.